What is going on, my beautiful viewers of YouTube? Sunspot here, giving you guys my review on the Disney Store exclusive Diamond Select Hulkbuster Iron Man figure. As usual, I do want to shed some light on the box. It does say Marvel Select Hulkbuster Special Collector Edition action figure. You do have some nice artwork of the Hulkbuster facing off against, this is probably bleeding edge armor, if I'm being honest. I can't really tell from the picture, it's the back. It is a Disney Store exclusive, so this guy is kind of tough to get your hands on. You can see in the background there, you do get some nice artwork, like comic-wise artwork with some boxes there, and you get some artwork that resembles that of the Hulkbuster versus Iron Man. Back of the box, nothing too much going on. We have a nice picture of Hulkbuster in all his glory there. Now, one thing I do want to shed some light on is that in this picture, he has movable fingers. It's awesome. Look, you can see all the bolts and stuff in there. He has movable fingers, while the actual figure has none of that. So I find that really interesting, kind of a rip-off. As for the figure himself, he is really impressive. If you guys do remember, or if you collected the original Toy Biz Marvel Legend action figures, they did make a pretty impressive Hulkbuster at the time, and that one was pretty similar to this one. It had a little bit different of an art style, a more muscly, more bulky, and it didn't have nearly as much detail, so let's just take a closer look at this badass. Now, the head sculpt on this guy is very impressive. So, just to just answer your guys' first question, can it actually pop out? Because you can see that the figure is formatted like it's kind of like a turtle. The head is sunken, and when I actually bought him, I thought, oh, okay, maybe that's just how they come in packaging. Maybe I could just plop it off. You can't. And I talked to other my friends about this who did order this guy and open him already, and they did say, you know, the only thing you could do with the head is move it, and I can't even do that because the paint is just so hard on this guy. I can't even move the head, so I will need to give him the hot water treatment. But honestly, besides that, it's a great head sculpt. I do enjoy this sky blue paint they got going on for the visor there. I do like all the silver bits in the creases of the plate, and I do like the paint job on the helmet. It's actually a darker shade of red than the rest of the figure, and I'll show you why later in the video. And I just really dig the head sculpt and the amount of work they put into it, and really the only complaint I have is that I can't even move it yet, and you know, even with a hot water treatment, it's probably going to be kind of a bitch to do that. No matter, because the rest of the figure is perfection. Literally, it is an amazing figure. You could see the amount of detail that goes on. He does have the what's it called, the triangle for his arc reactor, while in Age of Ultron it was a circle. I do prefer the triangle just because, you know, I'm more of the comic guy, but I do like this beehive they design they got going on all around the figure, especially on these shoulder plates here. It's really nice. And the one thing I want to mention that it has is these really nice bolt effects, and they're not painted, they're actually sculpted in, so you got some under the arc reactor there, a little bit on the bicep, and if you go around the figure, it's all around the back, and I think that's really nice looking. It reminds me of the Mark II that they made by Hot Toys and stuff, so it's always nice to have those little touches on these figures, especially if you're paying such a, you know, kind of a hefty price for these guys. And just going around around the figure, it's a really nice paint job, and I don't know if you guys could see on camera, but the head sculpt has a darker shade, like this cherry red, while the rest of the figure is this shiny red. And I don't know how that's coming out on camera, but that's how it is in real life. And just moving around the figure, I do like the gold paint job they put on this. It's a really nice wash and everything. And one thing I was surprised to see is that in the ball joints in the legs, it's actually this really nice gunmetal metallic paint they got going on there, and that really complements the figure. You know, there's not much silver on this guy, and I do like that contrast, and I honestly wish they would have done that with the elbow joints and at the back of the knee joints, but you know, what can you do? And one thing I also want to mention is that the spine, or this ab area, is just so nice, and it's really symmetrical too. I do like this silver paint they got going on. It's different than the ball joints, by the way, but it's just really nice, and you can see he has a bit of gold on the side as well there. Moving down, more of that bolt stuff, and then the knee guards are that nice gold again. This guy's really heavy, that's why I'm like talking fast. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible, and this guy is hefty, by the way. He, you know, so just looking at the legs here, I do like the design here. Very different than the Toy Biz one. I do prefer this, by the way. And just going around, you can look at his calves there. You got some workings. Now, one thing I'm I don't know what this is, but you see these holes right here. In the, I guess it's the ankle joints. I don't know what purpose they serve. If they're supposed to connect to anything, but they're there. And just looking at the feet, really nice detail like those bolts, and even under the feet. I know they have that, you know, copyright writing and stuff like that, but you do have some nice detail in the, they're not repulsors, but you know what I mean. And he does have peg holes, so if you want to put him on a stand, you definitely can. And I can assure you, this guy definitely doesn't need a stand. He is never falling down. As for articulation, this guy does have a ton, and I just want to say one more time that I can't move his head yet, but it will rotate a full 360 degrees, so just saying that. As soon as I give him the hot water treatment, I'll show you guys. So his shoulder pads can rotate not all the way around. I mean, technically they can, but you just want to be careful. They are kind of fragile, but they can rotate just as much as the arms can. I just moved the camera a little bit. But his arms can fully rotate upwards, back, side to side. He does have that nice bicep rotation, as well as a good 90-degree angle. And again, he does have that peg hole right here, and I don't know what purpose that serves. But his hands do have a full rotation, and again, this one has more rotation than that since this has the extended thumb. His ab section here could go forward and back, side to side, and just rotate the full way. His legs can go forward and back, could basically do the splits. He does have a single jointed knee here, so it can bend that way. And I do want to stress something for you guys. My little ball joint here on the left leg is kind of fragile, so when you're bending this knee, I strongly suggest you hold this thigh and then bend it. Otherwise, it's going to put too much stress on the actual ball joint itself. His feet can go forward and back, side to side, and of course, he has ankle pivot! As for size, this guy towers over everything. I do have the original Toy Biz Marvel Legends Grey Hulk. I think this guy is pretty rare, actually. But I just really like how these guys complement each other, because I'm going to be putting him with my Hulk shelf, and he is definitely going to be standing next to this guy, maybe in a fighting position. Maybe they'll be fighting each other. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but he is definitely going to be facing off against my Grey Hulk, and I do have the classic Toy Biz classic Iron Man, and you could see that this guy just towers over him. It's really nice, and if you were to actually like put him inside, it'd be pretty accurate. So, you know, these Diamond Select are pretty respectable to the Toy Biz versions. So my final thoughts on this guy is he is amazing. He is probably one of my favorite I wouldn't call him a Marvel Legend, I'm just going to in this video. He is actually by Diamond Select, for those of you that don't know, but he is probably one of my favorite Marvel Legend Iron Man / Diamond Select. He is literally perfect. The paint job is perfect, the articulation is plenty. Again, I don't know why on the box why he has movable fingers. His fingers cannot move at all. That really pisses me off and gets on my nerves, but that's the way it is. I'm going to try and do some research on that maybe there, because, you know, this guy has no accessories. I thought maybe he'd come with a pair of articulated hands, but obviously he didn't. So guys, if you did enjoy this review, if you did enjoy watching me handle this figure, I highly recommend you get it. It's awesome. If you are an Iron Man fan, or even just a Hulkbuster fan, or a Hulk fan, and you want something to face off against your Hulk team, then pick this guy up. He is a Disney Store exclusive. He is kind of hard to get your hands on, especially now when not a lot of stores are getting him in stock. And this guy is not retail. He is only online. You could check your Disney Store to see if he's there. He might be. So that's really all the best advice I can give you. I just found him on marveltoys.com, or it's not marveltoys.com, but it's the official Marvel site. So, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, do whatever you viewers do on a daily basis, and I will see you guys in my next video.